one of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially in a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
You're in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Liv. It's
very exciting, and really, if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week. I feel like when there's this wind at this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this was one of those days for me, so I relished it. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often, or certainly I don't. So, I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
Let's roll. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pitch the players, the hustlers, and people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Twisted Tuesday has begun. We've got a full house. We're locked and loaded. Countdown to the Olympics is nearly complete as we've got men's soccer ready to kick off in the morning. We'll be breaking it all down. We've got a bunch of Olympic picks for you tonight. I'm going to be on the Pat Mayo show tomorrow talking Olympics. I'm going to be joining our boy Jimmy Murphy later in the week in Portland, Maine. I'm doing some Portland, Maine radio. I've made the big time. Forget about LA. Forget about Toronto and New York and Chicago and Sirius XM 159. I've finally made it. I've been invited onto a Portland, Maine radio show on Friday to talk the Olympics. There's always a bunch of Olympians from Maine. Let's roll. All right, we got the New York Mets and the New York Yankees in action. Right now, Paul Skeens is on the hill here tonight. He got dealt his first loss, although it wasn't his fault. He was dominant. He went over his strikeout prop. But speaking of which, let's get right after it here. We have the San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers going head-to-head once again this evening like they did last night. We cashed the ticket last night with the Dodgers and the under. Dodgers are rolling right now. They've won their first 4 games back since the All-Star break. They came off the sweep, of course, of the Boston Red Sox. Now they're playing their arch rival, San Francisco Giants. They sent another rookie to the hill. Last night, River Ryan made his debut of Major League Baseball debut. Pretty impressive. Went 5 innings, only gave up 1 run. Landon Knack on the hill. My Sharona on the hill here tonight. That's old school. Only older people will catch that one. Pretty good song, though. Dun, 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 dun. Landon Knack goes for the Dodgers tonight. His strikeout prop is 4.5 this evening. Knack has been very, very good for the Dodgers, albeit his last 2 starts going into the All-Star break is where he got hit the hardest. Gave up 4 runs in one game in 4 innings and 3 runs in 4 innings in the other one. Other than that, he's been pretty steady. 1 run, 2 runs. He has pitched against the San Francisco Giants this year as well, and it was actually one of his better games as far as his numbers were concerned. The Dodgers lost the game 5-3, but he went 4 2/3, and he struck out 7 if you look at Knack and his strikeouts, even when he struggled against the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Dodgers were in a bad spot on that game. It was like going into the All-Star break, they were at the end, and he had 5 strikeouts against the Phillies. He had strikeouts against Arizona. He had 7 strikeouts against San Francisco just last month in late June. So it's 4.5 tonight. I think we get there with Landon Knack. Let's go over 4.5 strikeouts with Landon Knack. I find the total to be a little high at 9 right now. I was thinking, you know what? When I looked at this, I was like, all right, last night we had a pretty low number. It went under the number. But tonight, I think they bumped it a bit too much. So Hicks is on the hill for the Giants, and Hicks has kind of been hit a bit. He's had a couple of good starts, but he has been hit. And once again, I find the Los Angeles Dodgers, hard to believe that you can say that the Dodgers are underpriced, but I find the Dodgers to be a little bit underpriced once again. You hear me say this all the time on the program. Hey, listen, if we're going to be able to get the Dodgers at a fair price, it's gone up a little bit. I'm seeing it's at 55 cents right now, but let's pull the trigger on the Dodgers to win the game. We're going to go under, and dear God, it's up to 9.5. What are people like? What am I missing here? Are people like, if this game goes over, I'll tell you what, if this game goes over, it goes over because the Dodgers get to Hicks, not because the Giants get to Knack. Not to mention the Giants are struggling offensively right now. So I don't really understand this this whole 9.5 thing, but we'll go. We're going to go under 9.5, and let's get a piece of Knack over 4.5 strikeouts. So we'll be ready to rock. We're still scoreless right now. The Angels and Mariners already got started. All right, let me get this strikeout prop in Knack over 4.5. For the record, Jordan Hicks is 3.5, but it's minus 170 to the over, which, okay, if you want to lay minus 170, that seems kind of crazy to me with Jordan Hicks against the Dodgers lineup. But so we're in on the Dodgers. We're on the under 9.5. We got Knack over 4.5 strikeouts. The Mets and the Yankees, the Subway Series going on. And we couldn't resist taking the Mets at plus 130. The way that the New York Yankees have been playing, the struggles continue. There was an error right there. And listen, the Mets have a 1-run lead right now. They have a runner on second base in the 9th inning with nobody out. I find the term, you always hear the broadcasters say, well, they really would like to add another run. Yeah, no kidding. They probably like to add like 8 runs, but I'll be the cliche broadcaster right now and say, there's a big difference between 4-2 and 3-2, right? That is a big insurance run going into the bottom of the 9th inning. 1 run and 2 runs. Takes away the one swing of the bat thing, right? So 3-2 for the Mets right now. We're on the Mets plus 130. We were on the Orioles tonight, and we were on Paul Skeens over 7.5 strikeouts. We hit the Skeens bet. We lose the Orioles bet. And right now we're riding out the Mets. We only had 3 early baseball bets, and now we just got in on the Dodgers game and the picks that we just gave you. Bad beat. Was it a bad beat or was it a bad bet? I'm not really a fan of the term bad beat, but this kind of was a bad beat. We had over 150.5 in a TBT basketball game. They had the target score, and we ended up getting to 151. Like, I basically needed one team to score, like, 1 basket in the target score, and we just couldn't get anything. It's been a wild night in the TBT. Really, really exciting game earlier tonight with Eberline drive and assembly ball. Not assembly hall, but assembly ball. So speaking of which, we're at the half right now. Heard that. The Marshall Thundering Herd alum and team. We all know, we've been covering the TBT for a long time. Heard that, our tournament veterans. They're usually a pretty high-scoring team. Heard that. They're not as potent this year. They don't hit as many threes as they normally do. And they're in tough tonight against La Familia. La Familia are the Kentucky Wildcat alum. And the Kentucky players are balling. So it's 38-30 at the half right now. We're on La Familia. We posted the picks on Twitter X. So as you know, if you want to tail them, we're on La Familia, but we're on over 142.5 as well in this game. At the half right now, it's 139.5. So we're sort of on pace, but we need Heard That to score a couple of more points. We got a good one going on here with Team Challenge ALS and the Forever Cougs. So the Forever Cougs are the Houston Cougars team. If you don't know the TBT, basically it's like dudes that played at a university and not on the same team, but it's like alum. But there's not a rule. You don't have to be. It's not like set in stone. Oh, yeah, you had to have played for the Houston Cougars. Like a good example is like the Indiana team had a couple of dudes on the Oklahoma Sooners on the team because whatever. It's like a pickup, and you could be a mercenary team. There's all kinds of different type of teams here. It's not just college alum. That's how it started, but it's just morphed into, hey, listen, if you've got a team and you want to win $1 million, you're eligible. But you've got to be able to play, obviously. So Team Challenge ALS, these guys are veterans of the tournament. They've been in this thing every year. Forever Cougs are kind of a new team. We're on Team ALS, Challenge ALS, to win the game. They're up 49-43 right now. We got the over 139.5 in this game. And this game is off and running. We got a nice pace going on in this one, actually. The in-game total is 147.5 right now, 50-43. With 4 minutes left in the third quarter of play. So we'll cover the TBT. We have the Dodgers and the Giants. And, the Olympics start in about 12 hours, give or take. Men's soccer, rugby sevens. We've got a bunch of picks. Our boy Andrew McKinnis is going to step up and in. And McKinnis is our volleyball insider. And we talked about volleyball futures, but we're going to get into some game picks as well. Let's do this thing.
The staple of consistency within the AFC North, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17 years under Mike Tomlin, never a losing record, never less than 8 wins.
You add Patrick Queen there over from your division rival. You take a look at that offensive line, which does have some question marks, but still a decent wide receiving core that they have, a running game that has Najee Harris, and a quarterback that's been there, done that.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup, what you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
He talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercado, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Your mustache is falling.
Dash is falling off. It's got to go. Ski's got another strikeout that I don't want to take. As soon as I take it off, they're going to give up a run. I'm trying to keep it on until he comes out of the game. It's all over the place. Come on. I'm superstitious.
He's got 10. He's got 10 Ks.
He's cruising. Wow.
They pulled Skeens, by the way.
Yeah, they pulled him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I'm Gabriel Morency. The Twisted Tuesday has begun. Countdown to the Olympic torch being lit is on. Our boy Snoop Dogg will be carrying the Olympic torch. They've gone full-on celebrity for the Olympics in Paris. LeBron James is the flag bearer for the United States. Snoop Dogg is carrying the torch, like into the stadium type of deal. And NBC really put together a cast of Olympic insiders to host the Olympics with Mike Tirico, Peyton Manning, and Kelly Clarkson. Wayfair, get what you need. Like, I don't know, like, surprised Bronny James isn't on the Olympic coverage. And Bronny's the co-host. Like Collinsworth's kid on NBC. Jack Collinsworth. Let's make him the play-by-play guy of Notre Dame. It's like, he's like 24 years old, right? Like, he's got no experience, right? It's like, yeah, but he's Chris Collinsworth's kid. Yeah, Kelly Clarkson. I guarantee you, like, she's got it in her contract that she's allowed to talk about Wayfair, like, during the Olympics. And if you need a good chair to sit on, guys, and watch the games, you go to Wayfair.
I'm going to be honest with you, Gabe. I bought a product from Wayfair. It's basically like worse than IKEA. Like, it's one of the worst companies. Anyway, they don't sponsor the show, so I'm just telling you, don't buy anything from Wayfair. I learned my lesson. It's junk. Absolutely.
Yeah, but Wayfair, they don't make things. They just sort of sell things. They're like a marketplace.
Bad things. Yeah. It's a marketplace of bad items and products. Yeah. Poorly put together.
Well, some people, because you were unhappy. Other millions of people seem to be satisfied with the company.
Good. Yeah, I'll agree. Their price point's very fair, but let's, anyway, I'll stop ripping Wayfair. Catchy jingle.
Let's bring in Andrew McKinnis right now. The countdown to the Olympics is on. McKinnis, good to see you. How you doing?
Andrew?
Good to see you guys. Yeah, pumped up for the Olympics. Not pumped up about the Blue Jays' future, I'll tell you that. I think I saw their only win they're going to have over the weekend in the next 3 months because that team is absolute trash. I was pumped up to watch them after getting home from Toronto over the weekend, but after tonight, I think I'm done with them, guys. I mean, they can have runners in scoring position all night long. They're not going to bring them in. So I'm done with that team.
I haven't bet or watched a Blue Jay game in about 3 weeks, maybe longer. To be honest, but I do have regrets in the sense that this team is tapped out and they're losing every game every day now. Like, it used to be, listen, they're battling, things aren't going their way. Now it's basically, you could tell they're just in baseball purgatory. I've seen it. I've been around baseball teams that know they're toast. And in the modern era, guys, it's pretty hard to be toast this early in the season because there's so many playoff spots.
Exactly.
So it's like, so it's kind of rare that it's like by mid-July you're burnt out and you're looking at the clock. Dude, I used to see it with the Expos all the time. By the time September would arrive, these guys are more interested in like their NFL picks and their girls than they were. Like it was like, guys, for people tuning in, it's the same thing as like when you were a kid and you were going to school for them. You know what I mean? You know you're not going to the playoffs. It's September. It's sort of like, man, there's 3 weeks left, and then I have all this money that I make being a baseball player. Their mind starts to race, Cam. Imagine you're like, I'm going to go to Vegas, man. I'm going to get so wasted. I got millions in the bank. It's going to be great. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, it sucks. Or imagine you're standing there. Think about it, bro. You're on the Oakland A's, bro. It's like mid-September, and you're just standing out there in the hot sun, and you're like, God, this season is long, right? Like, they'll just want it to be over. The Jays are already in that, God, this season is long mode.
You know what I did, Morency? I actually did a test to scientifically back up my opinion, so I tape the press conferences after the Jays when they're on there. John Schneider literally runs a script. It's like he said, it's basically like the same thing there's no deferring from it. Oh, we're really battling. Like it's a joke. Like I literally have like a week's worth of this stuff and it's the exact same words, verbatim, length, everything. Like these guys, they're running on scripts. They're showing up barely in spirit only, like in mind only, not like McKinnis is right. Like I don't bet the Jays anymore. Like I'm with you. We should be fading these turkeys for the last 2 months. I've never seen a team with runners in scoring position with no outs get less than them this year. It's actually, it's hard to watch. And I'm done. Even me, Gabe, like I've tapped out.
Well, San Francisco Giant fans would say the same thing. A lot of teams can say that.
They got problems. Yeah. They can't get runs in either. That's true. Jays are brutal.
McKinnis?
I didn't used to believe in showcasing yourself before the trade deadline. You hear people talk about it all the time in the NHL, especially in the NBA, trying to get out of a bad market to get to a good market. Guys are going to hit when they're going to hit. Guys are going to score goals when they're going to score goals. They're going to hit threes when they're going to hit threes. correct me if I'm wrong on these numbers. Vladdy has a home run in 5 of the last 6 games he's played in. And the one game he didn't, George Springer had back-to-back homers. They didn't even need him, and they won 5-4 on Sunday. Can you guys talk me off the fact that sometimes maybe that is actually a situation? I didn't used to believe in that, but I really think showcasing yourself is a thing. Because you see in all sports, before the trade deadline, guys just start looking more serious, trying harder. As you mentioned, Gabe, imagine playing baseball and knowing how many more games are left. It's one thing to be the Habs and it's game 67 and you're like, all right, let's get through the rest of the stretch here. In baseball, they still have so many games left.
Yeah, but you know what? The one thing about baseball is it's such an individual sport, and as far as money is concerned, it doesn't matter if you're on a really bad team. If you put up big numbers, you're going to get paid, right? So baseball players are driven by this, and it's the one good thing. They're always motivated to succeed. And the fact of the matter is, Vladimir Guerrero McInnes, he's not in a contract here, but he's going into a contract here. Right? So you're right. He's not suddenly hot because, I want to get traded. He's like, knows this is it. Like, this is it. I get hot now. It goes into next year and I get paid big time money. Imagine if he continued to struggle and struggle and struggle, it would be like, you're not worth big time money anymore. You haven't lived up to the potential he is once again. And he's putting himself in a position where there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to want to give him the money if the Jays don't.
The staple of consistency within the AFC North, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17 years under Mike Tomlin, never a losing record, never less than 8 wins.
You add Patrick Queen there over from your division rival. You take a look at that offensive line, which does have some question marks, but still a decent wide receiving core that they have, a running game that has Najee Harris, and a quarterback that's been there, done that.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup, what you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
He talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercano, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Your mustache is falling.
Mustache is falling off. It's got to go. Ski's got another strikeout that I don't want to take. As soon as I take it off, they're going to give up a run. I'm trying to keep it on until he comes out of the game. It's all over the place. Come on. I'm superstitious.
He's got 10. He's got 10 Ks.
He's cruising. Wow.
They pulled Skeens, by the way.
Yeah, they pulled him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency, the Pittsburgh players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. The New York Mets have just defeated the New York Yankees in the Subway Series. And we cashed the ticket, plus 130, with the Nye Metropolitans this evening. You know, I wasn't in love with it coming into this, but the Mets have been playing better baseball, number one, than a lot better baseball in the last month. Or so than the New York Yankees have. And the plus 130 was attractive to me. And it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy with the New York Yankees now. Like they had a big losing streak, but they still had a great record. Yet they've almost repeated it so much that the sky is falling and they're collapsing. Now they actually are for real. Now it's like, whoa. And even Severino said it before, like a month ago. He goes, there's no need to be worried. He goes, talk to me next month. And here we are next month, and they've won like 5 games. And it just keeps snowballing. Errors, mental mistakes with the Yankees, sloppy play. And the trade deadline's rapidly approaching. There's no savior for them. I said it last week. I didn't understand how them and the Baltimore Orioles were basically a pick-em to win the division, although the Orioles are starting to not be as dominant either. The Orioles did lose tonight to the Marlins, and the Orioles suddenly don't look invincible either. For the record, the Dodgers and the Giants were into the bottom of the first inning right now. There's 2 out. The Dodgers have a runner on first. I'm on the Dodgers to win the game. I've got the under 9.5. And we've got Landon Knack over 4.5 strikeouts. What do you have in this game, Ken?
Actually, Gabe, I actually took the Dodgers in this spot too. I like the over in the game, but I think you're on to it. You've been really good with the totals. Like last night, that was an astute play. No more runs in the Oakland game. I just thought these young pitchers might get hit, but it's hard. You're right. With one thing with the Giants, they're like the Blue Jays. They have problems scoring runs, and that could be a problem. But I think the Dodgers will get theirs tonight. I took a small play with the over, the Dodgers.
Landon Knack, another Dodger pitcher, rookie pitcher, McKinnis. The Dodgers have just rolled out one rookie after another, and they still win baseball games. And it's just a great way for them to integrate their young prospects into this. Landon Knack is another one. He's been rock solid. Knack, he had 7 strikeouts the last time. He just pitched against the Giants on June 28th. And he went 5 innings, gave up a run. He had 7 strikeouts against them. So I don't have a problem with Landon Knack. I like the under in this game because my thought was, listen, if it goes over the number, and I said it off the top, if it goes over the number, it's because the Dodgers are the ones that just sort of get the Hicks, which I think they're probably going to get the Hicks eventually. What did you do with this game, McKinnis?
Yeah, that was a great segue, Gabe. You talk about the young pitcher, and you talk about Hicks. I have the team total over 4.5 for the Dodgers. There's been games where the Dodgers bullpen has collapsed on them a little bit. There's been games where they've allowed a decent amount of runs over the last couple of games for them, a handful of weeks. And I just want to bet on them to score runs. When I like the Dodgers, I like them to score runs. All I hear people talk about all the time, when the Dodgers win, they cover the run line. Well, guess what? When the Dodgers win, a lot of times they're scoring at least 5 runs too. And you talk about Hicks. To me, I'm going to see a lot of regression from him over the next couple starts. I see some of these numbers for him. ERA might be low, but everything else is high. Hits, walk batters, all these fancy stats people love to use. I want to bet against Hicks. And how great would it be to be a young pitcher to be on the Dodgers, guys, with the weapons that they have, the lineup that they have? Realistically, I mean, you could throw at a lot of different pitchers, and if they're giving you 7 runs, 5, 6 runs, you're feeling pretty comfortable out there at the plate.
Good
but
call,
for me, I'm usually a team totals guy when it comes to the Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers are off to a good start. I haven't scored yet, but Hicks just threw a wild pitch. Now the Dodgers have runners on second and third here in the bottom of the first inning. We'll keep our eye on this game. We should note there are 2 out, but Hicks is already up to 24 pitches.
There we go.
Did they just score? Here we go. So the Dodgers off and running here this evening. As I stated off the top, I didn't understand the price earlier. They were minus 140. Anytime you get the Dodgers at this moderate price, I ended up playing them at minus 155 because I didn't get the bet in right until before the game started. But it's crazy how underpriced they were. And they get thrown out at third base.
Babe, I got to tell you,
to end the inning.
Hicks, too, this guy is a walk machine. And take a look. He's only going 4 innings, 5 innings, 4 innings, 5 earned runs, 3, 5. Like, that's the whole thing. He throws too many pitches. He walks too many guys. He'll be out of the game early, and then the Dodgers can get into their bullpen.
Yeah, but I think it's actually better for the under once they get to the bullpen. Hicks is the vulnerable one.
the staple of consistency within the AFC North, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17 years under Mike Tomlin, never a losing record, never less than 8 wins.
You add Patrick Queen there over from your division rival. You take a look at that offensive line, which does have some question marks, but still a decent wide receiving core that they have, a running game that has Najee Harris, and a quarterback that's been there, done that.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup? What you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
We talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercano, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Your mustache is falling.
Dash is falling off. It's got to go. Skeen's got another strikeout that I don't want to take. As soon as I take it off, you're going to give up a run. I'm trying to keep it on until he comes out of the game. It's all over the place. Come on. I'm superstitious.
He's got 10. He's got 10 Ks.
He's cruising. Wow.
They pulled Skeens, by the way.
Yeah, they pulled him. Yeah.
Okay. Do that.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. We're rolling along here. We're in the top of the second inning at Chavez Ravine, 2-0 for the Dodgers. Let's get you caught to date for those of you that are betting on the TBT basketball tournament. The Kentucky crew, La Familia, they sound like they're a mobster team. La Familia are the Kentucky Wildcats alum. They're really messing up Heard That at Marshall. And Heard That are normally a pretty good team, but they've hit the wall. So La Familia are up 67-48 after the third quarter. So we're going into the fourth. We'll get you an updated number. They've just locked it and pulled it. And meanwhile, we got a really close one going on here and a good one with Team Challenge ALS. They're leading the Forever Cougs 64-61. The Houston Cougars will take on Team Challenge ALS, who are a bunch of different dudes. They're not a college team. And they give half the money to ALS research. I'm on Team ALS to win the game in the over. It's looking pretty good as we're moving into the target score right now. And McKinnis, I know you bet. I don't know if you bet on it actually. I know you go to some of the games. You've talked about the CEBL before. I like betting on it. There was a game tonight. I didn't get in on it. I would have with the Sea Dogs and the Calgary Surge. I think it is. But they play with the Elam ending, the target score at the end. Do you bet CBL basketball at all, McKinnis?
I pretty much just bet the totals. I'll take a look at the rosters and kind of see if I recognize some names there, look at the past couple scores. I can't stay away from the sides because I feel like, Gabe, every game they're showcasing new people. That's the problem with that. I follow it mostly because I'm a fan of some of the people that are playing it. A lot of the teams I cover in Halifax, the universities, their best players will go play there for the summer. So they go out there and I'll track them and kind of do some writing and stuff, interview them after. But to me, you can really tell which games they've got the younger players, which games they have the older players, and that's how I bet my over-unders in the CEBL. But it's actually a fun league. It's growing. And the good news is you've got guys that play in the States come back to Canada to play there for the summer to stay warm. And you've got guys that are playing U Sports that go there for the summer and come back and play their fourth and fifth year. So it's really good for Canada.
So no, the quality of play is very good. There's actually 8 players that play in the CEBL that just played in the NBA Summer League. So if people are wondering about okay, what's the level? dudes that are in the CEBL, they're not like a step away from the NBA, but they're a step away from the G League, right? Their goal is, all right, I play well here. I'll get a crack at the G League. Maybe I can get a 10-day contract. Like, it's surprising. I was watching the CEBL the other day, and Chuck Swirsky, the Bulls announcer, former Raptor announcer, is the play-by-play guy when they do the national games. And, it was like, yeah, this guy played 13 games with the Trailblazers last year. This guy got a crack with the Nets. And, like, there's some good basketball players in the league. It's a fun league. I just wish it was on, mainstream TV more. I know it's online, but I like, because the sports books, to be honest, there's a few of them that have it. I think their sponsors Bet Victor. So they obviously have all their games. Oh, over players might like this. There's a home run for San Francisco, 2-1.
Oh, man, keep scoring.
San Francisco with the home run.
More Dodgers. Gabe, I was going to ask.
Tyler Fitzgerald with the home run.
Fitzgerald had another one last night, too. Sorry, quickly, McInnes. Any futures in the TBT? I know we hit it last year. We did really, really well. I got to be honest with you, Morency, this tournament crept up on me. When you talked about it last night, I'm not even going to lie. I'm like, oh, the TBT's back, whatever. What about Heartfire? I know they're a 1 seed, but that team always does well. Like, you got futures?
No, they're already going into the these are the quarterfinals, Cam. Like we're already, like, it's the tournament's already like halfway through. They got, I don't know what was it. They started the same time that what was going on. It didn't help, actually. The Biden stepped down. They were on national television, and I was watching a game, and I bet on the game, and I'm watching it, and then they cut away because Biden resigned. I'm like, son of a bitch. I just bet on the game. I couldn't see it. All right, I was like, I got to go online now, man. Like, I was like going online trying to find it. I'm finding the streams.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm finding the streams, and the streams have the news like on, right? Like everyone was caught off guard. I couldn't see the game. Then I'm like, you know what? All right, I'll go to the race. I'll watch the race. And they cut away. I was like, son of a, really, everyone's cutting away from this. I felt bad. There was the U.S. under-18 girls flag football championship. The NFL has been bigging it up big time because flag football is in the Olympics next time. And they're on national television, and they got bumped for political talk. Everybody, like the sports world. And the thing is, guys, like the TBT, they pay for this. Like, they have sponsors and stuff. It's like a nightmare. Like, now you're going to have sponsors saying, we paid. We weren't even on TV. And, like, anyways. But, yeah, Cam, it's a little late for futures now. We'll see if there's updated futures. But we got a really fun one going on here with Challenge ALS and the Forever Cougs. 67-66. La Familia are messing up, heard that. Although we have a chance of doing well here on the way out. All right, so the Olympics are coming up. Tomorrow morning, men's soccer is the first events up. USA play France tomorrow. We'll get to that a little bit later on. McInnes likes to bet on volleyball and follow volleyball. We talked about the futures last week, about how the two favorites are probably going to end up in the final against each other in the gold medal game. Italy and Poland. Poland are plus 400 to take it all. Italy are plus 500 to take it all. I never like betting on a bet that I know is going to lose if I take them both. But I don't have a problem with this. If I take them both and somehow they both end up in a gold medal game, then I can bet on the game again. That's how I'm going to approach the volleyball futures. But let me get up the volleyball game lines and see what McInnes likes here, Cam. And there's a lot of different ways we can bet on this stuff. And everybody knows there's not a sport that I don't like to bet on overs.
That's true.
You got team total overs
that's a lie.
in men's volleyball.
Hockey or unders.
Yeah, hockey and baseball, I bet unders.
Yeah, exactly.
Hockey and baseball unders.
There you go.
Yeah, but volleyball, Cam, I'm an over guy.
For sure.
I'm an over guy. Here we go.
Betting the overs in volleyball, a lot of time, if you're betting an over and it's not like two of the top 4 teams in the world, you're pretty much cheering for the underdog. Like, you're betting the over, but you're sitting there cheering for the underdog.
You need them to somehow win a set or something.
Yeah,
you got to, like, give me a set. Yeah. I know, it's like betting on tennis, and you need the dog to give you something if you're betting on the over. But what I find fascinating, and I want your opinion here, McInnes, is I'm looking, and a lot like tennis betting, Cam, it's the same thing here. So they have, what's the score going to be after 2 sets? What's the score going to be after 3 sets, McInnes? So we're opening up on Saturday afternoon/morning. Japan and Germany go head-to-head. Italy and Brazil is the game of the day. You have Poland and Egypt, USA and Argentina. So we got 4 games there. Let's start off with Italy and Brazil because they're both good. We know Italy are one of the favorites. Italy are minus 275 to win the game. The point spread is minus 1.5. The total is 181.5. What kind of match do you think we're looking at between Italy and Brazil, McInnes?
Well, another good segue, Gabe. We like betting overs. That's the over I like on the day one, Italy and Brazil. I think we get 4 very competitive sets. I do not think this goes to number 5. I think that Italy gets the job done in 4 sets. And if you look at this, guys, we need 4 sets with the 25-21, 25-19 ballpark here. And some of these teams that are so good at getting into the timeouts or getting into the little break between sets, figuring out some holes, figuring out some places, figuring out some blockers to go after. You know, it's the same thing in football. Picking on a certain corner, guys, that's how it works in volleyball. You pick on a weak blocker. You pick on a weak defender. I think this one goes to at least 4, and we get over 181.5 points. Look at the price on Italy. You know, forget that. Forget the minus 1.5. We'll look for some points in this one.
You know what? Italy to win 3 sets to 1 is plus 275.
The staple of consistency within the AFC North, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17 years under Mike Tomlin, never a losing record, never less than 8 wins.
You add Patrick Queen there over from your division rival. You take a look at that offensive line, which does have some question marks, but still a decent wide receiving core that they have, a running game that has Najee Harris, and a quarterback that's been there, done that.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup, what you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
He talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercano, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Your mustache is falling.
Dash is falling off. It's got to go. Ski's got another strikeout that I don't want to take. As soon as I take it off, they're going to give up a run. I'm trying to keep it on until he comes out of the game. It's all over the place. Come on. I'm superstitious.
He's got 10. He's got 10 Ks.
He's cruising. Wow.
They pulled Skeens, by the way.
Yeah, they pulled him. Yeah.
Okay. Do that.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Two 2-1 Dodgers right now. We're in the bottom of the second inning. There's 2 out. There's been a lot of damage with 2 out, though. The Dodgers scored with 2 out. The Giants hit a home run with 2 out, I believe it was. So Kiki Hernandez is up right now, 2-1, 2 out, runner on first base. San Francisco and L.A. at Chavez Ravine. We're talking about the Olympics right now. I want to get to a couple of best of X things in a minute, but let's stay on this volleyball. McInnes, we were talking about trying to find some value here. And listen, if I'm going to watch this volleyball and all this Olympic stuff, I want to have a little bit of fun. I don't want to throw money away, but at the same point in time, I just don't want minus 110s and stuff. And that's why I was sort of looking, okay, you know what? Set betting. And I love where you're going with this. I don't think Brazil are going to get swept and lose 3-0 to Italy. And Italy to win 3-1 is plus 275. Italy to win 3-2 is plus 375, McKinnis. Not bad right there.
Yeah, you got to love it. I mean, look at the price for the minus 1.5 games. Look at the price on these totals. Like you mentioned, you want to try and get some plus money when you can. But that's why, for me, I'm going to maybe not go as far as getting that big plus money, but go as far as, getting these minus 110s due to using the totals. I'll bring it to another game. There's one game that I do think there will be a sweep, and that's Poland and Egypt. And when I look at that game, you look at the odds
they're
right
minus
now,
6,600 favorites.
Yeah.
Damn, they're 66 to 1 on the money line Poland against Egypt.
That's now throw $1,000 on Poland. Wow,
No.
Egypt.
Hold on, let me see this for the hell of it. Let me just see. If you bet $100, what do you get back? If you bet $100 on Poland to win this game, you get back $1.51. No, I know, not you. I'm just letting you know. That's what you get.
Yeah, I wasn't giving out the money
$1.50.
Can of pop. I got to tell you, though, Renzi, last time McKinnis bet, I remember he gave us Iran at some crazy-ass price, and they won outright. Not Egypt. They're 66, but weren't they huge pooches, McKinnis?
Okay. Yeah. How about this though, guys? So Egypt and Poland. Poland to win 3-0 is minus 334. Oh. What about minus 21.5 games, McKinnis? Are Poland going to smash them and lay 21.5?
I'm on the under 130.5, and I've already locked that in. It's going to be 3 miserable sets. 3 absolutely miserable sets.
Interesting.
But I'd rather take the under.
25-10, 25-10, 25-10 type thing?
Like a blowout like that. Cool.
You get some that's the way to look at it. I don't want to worry about these spreads because, there could be one set where the other team comes alive, but you realistically, you look at it, there's nothing that's going to save them. Going to the technical timeout, using your 2 timeouts, using all your substitutions you can, nothing will save them against this Polish team that I think is, going to be in the finals of this whole tournament. And the biggest thing is, guys, is the blocking. Poland, their blockers are unbelievable. And so when you get frustrated, you start trying to hit around them, and then it's going to be Party City on the other side there for Poland. So the unders are the best way to go. Look at the price on over 3.5. Look at the price on minus 2.5. Guys, when I was doing my webcasting days and broadcast play-by-play, there was a school I worked for where the women's team used to win 3-0 in every single game they played in. And I used to get paid by the game. And it was on a lot of the games were football Sunday, NFL Sunday. I'd go over there and want to get home. They changed my rate to hourly because I was getting paid by game, but I was out of there in 55 minutes. Some of these games, you can go by so fast. Yeah, I liked getting paid by the game, right? Because I was in and out.
That's amazing.
Well, unrelated scary news. I just saw on a ticker in front of me that Kyle Dubas has been named to the Team Canada executive team for the Olympics.
Oh, are you
God?
Yeah. What's this guy got?
Really? Dubas is in charge? Like, oh God! So it means what? Mitch Marner's on the team.
Penguins and Mitch Marner on line one.
Which he will be, but I know. I'm just saying,
That's great.
All right, so.
Crazy. Wow, that's
I'm just surprised. Really, of all the hockey execs, really, Kyle Dubas named to the assistant GM of the Olympic team. Well, like, really?
Wow.
Why? Like, what has he done?
Lose?
Like, he's never won anything in his life.
Canada game.
Lose.
He's never won anything. I'm like, well, why? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
This sounds like a Nate Hackett hire to me. It's like, why are we hiring Dubas for what? Like, what did he accomplish?
Nate Hackett's an old football lifer. Dubas is still young. Like, it's not like these older guys.
Yeah, this is scary, though. Well, I want to stick to the Olympics, but I brought it up, so it's my fault. But this means, guys, analytics coming into play. He's the analytic guy.
It really worked. Tell his analytics and shove it down.
That threw me off guard. So speaking of which, great day for Canada. Kyle Dubas name. That's like Nate. Like I said, it's just great. And I never expected the first Olympic scandal. I guess not. We shouldn't be shocked. Canada are part of one of the biggest Olympic scandals ever. Hi, I'm Ben Johnson. I'm a cheetah.
What Frank D'Angelo did to Ben Johnson is criminal. I cheat all the time. It's like the guy's already lost his medal. Now you're peddling him for very little money.
Right. Like,
it was a horrible thing to do to a
the fact
human
that Ben
being.
had to read that script, knowing oh God.
I know.
Really?
And he didn't get a lot for it. I talked to him, Gabe. It's
for people wondering, Ben Johnson, who was whatever, say what you will about what he did or what he didn't do, but he smoked Carl Lewis and he set a world record at the time. He tested positive after, and there was an energy drink called Cheetah, and they signed him as a sponsor, and he's sitting in a chair, and they're like, "Hi, I'm here with Ben Johnson." He's like, "I cheat all the time," and he's drinking the Cheetah. It's like
horrible.
That was poor guy. Didn't make any money, so he had to that's what his life came to. But I'll never forget that. That was one of the coolest things ever. He smoked him, and you remember he actually looked back at him with a snarl. He turned back, he looked. Man, those track rivalries were awesome in the old days. When Donovan Bailey and Michael Johnson went head-to-head, they smack-talk each other so much, and they were like, all right, let's do it. Let's go head-to-head. And let's do it for domination of the world. And Donovan Bailey smoked them, right? Canada was on top of the world in the track and field, but the first scandal of the Paris Olympics involves the women's soccer team from Canada, who a unaccredited member of their team was detained by police for flying a drone in a no-fly zone over Team New Zealand's practice to spy on them.
The staple of consistency within the AFC North, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17 years under Mike Tomlin, never a losing record, never less than 8 wins.
You add Patrick Queen there over from your division rival. You take a look at that offensive line, which does have some question marks, but still a decent wide receiving core that they have, a running game that has Najee Harris, and a quarterback that's been there, done that.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup, what you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
We talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercano, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Your mustache is falling.
Mustache is falling off. It's got to go. Skeen's got another strikeout that I don't want to take. As soon as I take it off, they're going to give up a run. I'm trying to keep it on until he comes out of the game. It's all over the place. Come on. I'm superstitious.
He's got 10. He's got 10 Ks.
He's cruising. Wow.
They pulled Skeens, by the way.
Yeah, they pulled him.
Okay. Yeah.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Giants have runners on second and third. So now I'm starting to see why the total ended up closing at 9.5. 2-1 right now, Dodgers, 2 out, runners on second and third for the Giants. We'll keep our eye on it. We have McKinnis for a couple more minutes. I want to get to the CFL, but just quickly, McKinnis, who do you like in the game? Japan versus Germany. Germany are minus 400 favorites. I'm just going to put a parlay together here. So Japan to beat Germany, Italy to beat Brazil, Poland to beat Egypt just to move it 6 cents. And what What about USA and Argentina? What about that big game opening up? The Americans against, for all the U.S. volleyball fans out there. What do you think against Argentina?
Well, good thing I'm not American because I'm taking the +1.5 sets with Argentina. I think that game is going to be really competitive. I think you got Argentina that knows how to extend rallies. They're known for their great defense. USA, to me, is going to be one of those teams that you're going to know early on in the rally if they're going to win or not, if they're going to win that point. To me, the longer the rally goes, the more they're screwed. They've got a lot of new passers, defenders. I think that, to me, they've got their middle blockers, but the outside hitters are a lot of pressure on the team. +1.5 games for Argentina, but the game I like the +1.5 sets for Argentina. But the game I like the -1.5 in is the first one, and that's Japan. We talked about it before. We kind of went in reverse order, but I just think Japan's too organized. They're too focused. They won't let their foot off the gas. To me, they're going to win that one.
And when you say 1.5,
3-0.
yeah, when you say when it says point spread, that's for the sets, right? Just for people that are wondering, like what's what it is. So you'll see, winner total point spread. Point spread is the total sets. So minus 1.5, they win 3-1. They win by 2 or more. 3-love, 3-1. They win. So you like that? Just for the record, a Japan, Italy, Poland, USA parlay, all just to win outright, is +122. You're getting plus money there. CFL football. Looks like Cody Fajardo will not play this week, guys, in this game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders on Thursday night. And in fact, I saw Farhan Lodgy saying that the Alouettes are actually pretty close to putting him on the 6-game injured reserve list right now. They're on the fence about it, but it looks like it could be trending that way, which that's the thing with the CFL season. It's a long season, and you could be on top of the world, and next thing you know, everybody's hurt. But we got a point spread nevertheless. And I find it interesting, McKinnis, if the books don't know Fajardo's out or they have this much confidence in the Alouettes with Caleb Evans starting at quarterback for them, in which the Alouettes are 3.5-point favorites right now against the Rough Riders on Thursday night. What do you think?
Yeah, Gabe, number opened up. We saw 1.5, we saw 2.5 today, got to 3, then 3.5, and more information started to come out. Of course, both teams will have backup quarterbacks out there, but now it'll not only be the backup quarterback for Saskatchewan, it will also be the backup running back, as AJ Ouellette is listed out for the Rough Riders at the running back position. They've got a linebacker out, so they're injured all over the place. And this is the thing. You ask yourself, how much do you care about bye weeks? I think there might be one game above 500 right now as far as ATS numbers for these teams coming off bye weeks. But it sure as hell worked for the Hamilton Tiger Cats last week, getting their first win of the season. And I think it works for Montreal. And they had so much time, obviously, playing the first game here. I'm going to take them in the first half, though. The defense, to me, is going to be the biggest difference. Look at what happened the last week with Winnipeg versus Saskatchewan. You know how many points Winnipeg scored? 9. That was not nearly enough pressure on Saskatchewan's defense. Sure, Saskatchewan, what are they, 5-1 straight up, 5-1 ATS. Montreal, to me, even with the backup quarterback, I think is a well-versed team. They'll get the job done. I locked in -2 in the first half in this one.
Total is 48.5 in that football game. Right, we got about a minute here, McKinnis. The Edmonton Elks still looking for their first win. The Ticats got their first W of the season last week against Toronto. Now Hamilton are 3.5-point underdogs right now. We were talking last night about how it was crazy that Edmonton were 2.5-point favorites, considering they never win, and now they're 3.5-point favorites in this game against the Ticats, Andrew.
Gabe, I'll be straight with you. I bet against them start the year, and then I started betting on them. I've now lost back-to-back weeks betting on this team. Full game, first half, whatever it might be. People that love betting against this team are going to be able to buy a house soon. I'm going to actually take the under 53.5 in that one. But I'll tell you my favorite play here. We're going to go Calgary -1 over the Red Blacks. The Red Blacks are not as good as their record. Hats off to them for getting some wins together. I like how Calgary's played. I was wrong about them at the start of the year. I changed my mind. They're 5-1 ATS. They're going to win this game, and the Red Blacks offense will not be able to trade points with them.
Sounds like a lot of hate for Ottawa there, McKinnis. Thanks for joining.